Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Saturday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Speaking of early, it's finally quiet. I had my coffee maker going right here, and I got halfway through making this video, and that thing just started bubbling and making all sorts of noises. And I'm redoing the video now, and I just unplugged it, so I think it's gonna stop making noises. I need my coffee this morning. Okay, enough about my coffee. Today, you guys know I usually combine 2 or 3 stories to get an overall video. And today I want to talk about the quotes from 2 Republican congresswomen, Illinois and Utah, I believe, yes. A couple quotes. There was another Trump. I always smile because it gives me something. Always gives me a good video when there's a Trump rally. There was another Trump rally in Illinois Saturday night, and there's going to be a link down below. Jordan Klepper, he always interviews the MAGA enthusiasts before these events, and he did. This is the link down below is from Saturday night, just last night, and he's talking to a couple enthusiasts, Trump enthusiasts, and there's one guy that just goes on, that's just bizarre, talking about fluoride. How this has to do with Donald Trump. You have to watch it. Let's see, there's another guy talking about how the hair on his arm stood up because he finally got to meet Donald Trump last week, and he's just all Twitter. There's a couple other fellows that are complaining and moaning about the price of gas right before they talk about how they just spent $20,000 to $30,000 going to about 40 Trump rallies in the last 4 years, and how they proudly proclaim that they probably used a good $20,000-$30,000 in gas right as they're complaining about the price of gas and all that. Again, you don't see this. Then there's another one where Jordan Klepper asked the people. He asked them, just tell me one good thing that Trump accomplished, and most of them can't come up with anything, and these are his diehard fans. This one lady says, the military and prayer, something like, you gotta see it. The links are down below, but that's not what this video is about. Okay, he was introduced Saturday night by Representative Mary Miller. Now, I'll say this right up front, so I'm not being dishonest here. Her people came out just hours ago. This was just last night. And her people came out later and said that she misspoke. Now, what did she say? She was introducing Donald Trump. And the first thing I noticed was how she's just kissing up to him. It sounds like she's going to meet the Wizard of Oz, or the great and powerful Wizard of Oz, or something. She talks about how he's standing right behind her, and she's saying how they're so honored, and everybody is so thankful, and all the MAGA people are so happy to have you here, and we are so thankful and grateful for your presence. And oh, wow, I've never seen so much butt kissing since the last Trump rally. Okay, but this is what she said. She said, I want to thank Donald Trump and she was talking about the recent decision, Roe v. Wade, being overturned. And she said she wants to thank Donald Trump for preserving white life. For preserving white life. That's what she said. Her people, now I'm going to be honest, her people came out. Said she misspoke, she misread. It was a juxtaposition of words. She meant to say, she wants to thank President Trump, because they call him President Trump still, for preserving the right to life. Okay. Now, my opinion here, I watch this over and over again. When I make a mistake on here, you hear yourself say it, you realize you said it, and you'll see, like my facial expression will change. Usually I'll come right out and correct myself immediately, especially if it's something like of this magnitude. She doesn't do that at all. I didn't see any inkling that she realized that, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Right to life, white life, you'd think that you'd see some kind of recognition on her face, and there's nothing. So, I mean, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say it was a mistake. But I'm going to say, without a doubt, it's a Freudian mistake, that this was in her subconscious. I started to think about this more. It really hadn't occurred to me. Talking about the replacement theory, how people think that there's people coming from Mexico that are going to push out the Caucasian Americans. And I started thinking about this Roe v. Wade thing. And I started to think that in some people's mind, this could be that kind of situation that Mary Miller had said at first, that, okay, if you assume, I mean, you could assume wrong, if you assume that the majority of African Americans live in urban areas, like California or on the coast, mainly blue states, if you assume that, maybe right or wrong, if you do assume it, you know that all these red states have already put all these laws into effect. So the states, it's mainly going to affect the people of those states. And the people of those states are probably, like I said, I'm assuming here, it could be right or wrong. I'm just thinking of what people might assume to come to this conclusion with her white life comment, that it might actually prevent some women in those red states from getting the procedure, whereas some other women in the blue states will continue to get the procedure, thereby changing the who's getting this procedure and who isn't. You know, and I started thinking about it, and it hadn't even occurred to me. And so I'm not saying I agree with this at all, but I could see how somebody could come up with this line of thinking that this recent ruling would somehow increase the majority of Caucasian Americans in the country. Like I said, it's just if you're assuming certain things right or wrong, it hadn't occurred to me. So at the very least, I'm thinking that Mary Miller, this was definitely to me, I think there's no doubt, especially watching her face, I think it was a Freudian slip at the very least. That's as far as I'm willing to forgive her on this. Okay, next, this is a doozy. Utah Rep Carrie Ann Lisabee. Apparently, she's talking about R.V. Wade and everything. And she got some criticism, I guess, in a text saying that she doesn't trust women to make their own decisions. So her response was, she trusts women to control the amount of men's ejaculation and the amount of semen intake. I hope I could say that on here. They're all scientific, biological, medical terms. So it's what I'm quoting Utah Representative Carrie Ann Lisabee. You know, so at first I'm thinking, well, do women, do their Kegel exercises control? Like, can a woman just clench up and control men's ejaculation? And then too, I'm being humorous there, or trying to be. She's putting it all on the women to control, to somehow control men's base instincts, ejaculation. It's all up to the women to control their intake. This quote just makes me cringe. All I can say about this is ew. I don't know what to call it. Is it sexist? Is it just bizarre? I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Okay, I see I'm coming along on time. You guys, let me know what you think. The links are all down below. Have a great Sunday.